Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us for the latest news and the latest updates wherever you are. And where you're tuning in from, we are very grateful. But kindly, don't forget to subscribe and turn the notification button for more of these updates. Museveni gives up on fighting corruption, hands the struggle to new ministers. Once again, thanks for joining us, but let's take more look into some of these details. President Museveni has swiveled to his new cabinet as the savior that will help him weed out corruption in the country. Analysts have apportioned the blame partly on the president, saying he has shown a lack of political will to fight his perennial disease. The Let's Fight Corruption song may only be second to the national anthem because it has been echoed at almost every beginning of the presidential term with little or no results. President Museveni has turned to his new cabinet hoping for different solutions, but how possible is it that the story will be different? President Museveni's 81-man cabinet is a combination of the old group and the new one, with only 16 of his old cabinet back. The rest retained or deployed with new ones learning the mathematics of being in cabinet. One would wonder whether the president can really or can rely on this team to deliver the nation out of corruption, because the old ones are used to the game. The new ones, we can give them benefit of doubt. And according to the Forum for Democratic Change spokesperson Ibrahim Semuju, he says the president's act of turning his hopes to the ministers is symbolic of admitting failure to fighting corruption in Uganda. He was amused of how he saw ministers celebrating upon their appointment. This was symbolic of a view that they were ready to eat from their new positions. And Sise Kagaba, the executive director of Anti-Corruption Coalition Uganda, Nicholas Opio, a political commentator, and Kira Municipality MP Semuju Nganda says there simply a lack of political will against the vice. They argue that corruption fuels the broader system of the NRM government, with the vice most deep-rooted in government institutions and dealings. Honorable Semuju added that President Yoweri Museveni is the chief briber who bribes his way into everything, and in case he does not succeed in this, he resorts to intimidation. According to city lawyer Nicholas Opio, corruption is what keeps the government in power, so those who attempt might end up fighting themselves out of the system. And Semuju Nganda adds that the whole system is entangled in the vice formally and informally. Even parliament committees like the Parliamentary Accounts Committee, many of the chairpersons often eat before you start working, hence biasing whatever cases at hand in favor of the corrupt. Arthur Mugisha, the executive director of ECOD, expressed similar sentiments in the same sense, but despite all their doubts, they all agree that the fight should continue, except with less talk and more action. They say the tough-speaking ministers should turn to reports that have been produced by the different anti-corruption entities, which all provide answers to the corruption ills. The untouchables and mafias in the system are often allegedly shielded by those high up in ranking, which should be a point of concern. Unless more action is taken to fight corruption, there is less hope to that. So their concern comes after President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni handing over his power of fighting corruption to the ministers. He's having ministers totaling to 81. So he told them to fight the corruption. He's no longer going to fight any corruption. So people came out brainwashing, saying that his idea of giving power to the ministers is expressed exactly, or it's a symbolic of how he has failed in power. Though they disagree with each and everything, but they came up agreeing to one thing, that the fight of corruption must continue. They should fight corruption because it is really not allowed in the country. And they also added on saying that the untouchables and mafias in the system are often allegedly shielded by those high up in the ranking, which should be a point of concern. So those people who do corruption are most times being supported by the people in higher ranks. So they should stop those people before coming to stop the people in the down parts. Well, that is it for now. Thanks for watching Projan Media TV. We'll keep on updating with more of this, but kindly do one thing: subscribe and turn the notification button. All these updates will come to you timely.